Hello everybody, how y'all doing? I hope you're doing well. I know it's been about a week since I've done any of these videos, and I thought I would just do a general video today about my journey, what I have been up to basically over the last week. So first and foremost, I know I had recently mentioned that I was going to be switching from doing ride sharing work strictly over to deliveries. Started doing that, and I am definitely enjoying it a lot more. I can definitely see where I was suffering from some bad burnout. So yeah, definitely not making as much money, but I'm a lot happier. So, and it's still been quite rewarding and so forth. So yeah. But I got to thinking about it at one point last week that I've lived in Vegas for a little over 19 years now, and out of those 19 years, 13 of them have been in the transportation industry. Yeah, that's a lot of driving people around. And I really started thinking about the numbers and everything between doing the ride sharing work and being a cab driver. I've transported somewhere in the ballpark of 50 to 60,000 people. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of energy that having to be dealing with on a constant basis, especially when you find out later on in life that you're actually an empath. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no wonder. I definitely need a break. So I'm very happy that I have decided to go down this journey. Or at least this path with my journey. It's been a lot calmer, I guess you could say. It's been a little bit more surreal and so forth. Yeah, it's been a lot better. I did have to take a couple of nights off. Unfortunately, we had some very hot temperatures up there around 110, basically. Record breaking in some instances. And got a little heat stroke, especially with constantly jumping in and out of the car, not always being able to be in air conditioning, so on and so forth. So, yeah, dealt with a little bit of heat stroke. Had to take a couple nights off, but I'm definitely feeling a lot better. No more dizzy spells. And I'm going to hit it again tonight. Fortunately, in case you're wondering about the weather this week, it's not supposed to be as hot this week. I was seeing that we're supposed to be dipping back down into the 90s a little bit. So that'll be nice, definitely. But by the end of the week, we're supposed to be back up to like 108 again. So it is what it is. So, but anywho, another thing that I have been doing, because I also mentioned that one of the reasons why I'm doing this, and that way I can have a little bit more time to basically, in a way, kind of switch career paths. I know, I had sworn to myself after getting my second bachelor's, I was just like, yeah, I'm done with school. I'm not going back, this and that and every other thing. And then here I am going to be going back to school. Only this time it's to get certifications. I know I mentioned it in my one previous video. I want to get my certifications in yoga, also learn Tai Chi, aromatherapy, and Reiki. And there's also, I think there's one that came across my path about breath work. Woo, somebody's coming out of their driveway about ready to hit me. So, yeah, there's some others. I'll check it out to check those out to see if they're going to be of interest or not, or doable, or what have you, because there could be overlapping too, with what I'm going to be learning. But of course, I'm also going to be going back for, I guess you could say, a little bit more official, and getting my master's, at least one, in the with being a life wellness coach. So, yeah. So yeah, there's that going on. But what I thought I would do is I would go back and reread a book that my best friend had given to me at one point. She sent it to me. It's an ebook. She basically just went up on one of the services. She had asked me which one that I used at that time, and went up and purchased it for me and gifted it to me. Basically, I don't remember who the author is, and it's called Yoga Sparks, and it's basically a type of yoga. It's not all of the big contortions sort of postures and so forth, which is something I'm really not all that terribly interested in. I've never been a flexible person or anything, but I've read it a couple of times, but each time, how. Well, let me back up. You know how it is when you read or watch something, and you get something out of it, and then you go back and read and watch it again, and you get something else out of it. That's kind of what I'm doing. Excuse me, with this, and with the. Excuse me, a little out of breath there. So yeah, it was like the first time I read it, I was just kind of like, okay, whatever. And of course, this is long before I went down my own spiritual journey, and even before I had my car accident and everything. Then after I had the car accident, this is back in 2017 when I was rear-ended. I kept having relapses with the muscles and joints that were affected. So, and I wasn't feeling very comfortable with what the doctor who I had at the time was suggesting. So I was looking for alternatives, and one of them I had looked at was that book with some sort of stretches to help, possibly. And it has. And I still do them to this day. I really don't have any issues anymore, but I still like to do them, because it just kind of helps stretch things out and so forth, and everything. And it's interesting with going back and rereading the book a third time. I'm getting something else out of it. So don't ever hesitate. If there was something that really interested you at some point, don't ever hesitate to go back and review it again. Okay, that would be my word of advice as far as that is concerned. So yeah, this time it's what I'm getting out of the book. It's a little bit more on the spiritual side. Before, when I had read them, I know I had mentioned it was before I went down the spiritual path and everything. But now that I have gone down the spiritual path, I'm not gliding over those sections so much, and it's all coming together and making sense. Even some other things coming together and making sense. Like, for instance, with mentioning, with my second bachelor's being in graphic design, there were some things that kind of hit me yesterday where it's like, oh yeah, because I had wanted to do the graphic design to help people who wanted to start their own business and everything. But unfortunately, the way the industry has changed over the years, it's just changed too much, where people are able to do things on their own, everything that may not look the most professional or anything, but people's mindsets have also changed. So it hasn't really been all that terribly much of an interest for me because of it. But I got thinking about it, and I'm like, I'm kind of right back where I started with going down this path with helping people with trying to find their true path in life. Okay, here we go. Yeah, it's all coming together. So, yeah. But, so yeah. And actually, there's a one thing that that the author of that book, I can't remember her name, unfortunately, at this point. I'm terrible with remembering names. I'm lucky I remembered the name of the book. But anyway, excuse me. She had mentioned something having to do with, or something that you can do to help you with eye strain. And yeah, I've been dealing with some eye strain with all of this and everything. And I tried it out, and I'm like, wow. I even got some fluids back in my eyes. I'm like, whoa, this feels great. Yeah, especially with everything that I've been through in the past year and a half, with the pulmonary issues and allergies and so forth. Yeah, helped a lot. I was really quite surprised. My eyes feel a lot better. Wow. That's all I need to do is stretch my eyeballs. So, yeah. But yeah, as far as, doing, and going down this path and everything, it's also helped me to realize what it is that I'm really trying to do. I'm somebody, I realize I look young and everything, but I'm going to be 50 years old this year, folks. So, and I'm not trying to pull the old card or anything by any means, but I do feel it. There are days I really do feel it. So, and just doing those little stretches that I do, and those breathing exercises and meditations and so forth, helps. And that's what I have come to realize with what it is that I'm targeting, what sort of people I want to be able to help and everything. And also the reason why I want to go down the road of Tai Chi, because not everybody is trying to do yoga just for the physical aspects. Basically, yoga is supposed to be about the journey. It's basically a form of meditation. So, and that's what I really want to be focusing on, is to help people with their journeys. And that's the reason why I want to see about doing the yoga and everything. It does help with those physical issues, but also it helps people with doing their inner work. And I have seen that with myself. And that's what I want to impart on other people. So anyway, yeah, lots going on. And Miss Possum, my little kitty, in case anybody's wondering about her, she's doing well. Yeah, she misses her mommy. And I'm just like, well, maybe you could go with mommy. I'm like, no, that's not a good idea. Especially with all the jumping in and out of the car that I'm having to do, and having to turn the car off with going and doing shopping sometimes. No, I can't take her in with me. And she wouldn't do well in those situations anyway, with her anxieties and everything. But I figure I would throw that at her to reiterate to her, it's not a good idea, baby. Just in case she was wondering. So, but anywho, yeah, but she's doing good. So, but anyway, yeah, I probably should go ahead and end this video, because I know I'm kind of out of breath and everything, and finish my walk here and so forth. And I thought I would give you all some updates as to what's been going on. I haven't forgotten about you, and I do have every intention to do some other videos and so forth. Yeah, definitely, like with the grounding work, the grounding video that I posted a couple weeks ago, definitely been doing quite a bit of that and so forth as well. So you might want to go and check that out. All right, so anywho, I'm going to go ahead and let you go. All right, I love you all, and I will talk at you soon.